I do understand you're trying to like fix different exploits and get different things done, but some of these changes I really do feel like are unnecessary. I mean, for example, you can actually go to Chick-fil-A and get your order and come back and still be deleting these parts right now in this game. Like, it's legit that bad. My goodness, look how long this actually takes. Like, it does go through like an animation. My goodness, I really don't feel like they actually do changes like this because no one asked for it. What is going on, everybody? Welcome back to Motorfest. So as you did see in that quick intro there, you obviously will have to take a lot longer now to get rid of your parts. And of course, you also have to take a lot longer now to actually re-roll these said parts as well. I did want to make a video about this because I do know this was obviously in the patch notes. But my goodness though, guys, I really do not understand why they actually do stuff like this. I do know there's obviously like exploits and stuff going on, so I do understand to an extent that they obviously do want to get rid of that stuff, but my goodness though, deleting parts is an absolute nightmare. I have a lot of parts in the Street Tier 2 and the Tier 1 class at the moment. Like, look at this. This is going to take so long to actually delete these parts, because now when doing this, there's obviously going to be a small animation, because before you obviously could delete the parts instantly, but now you're obviously going to be here for a long time, especially running a loot digger. Like, imagine doing a lot of different races, then you obviously want to delete your parts. You are most likely going to be here for around 15 to 20 minutes just trying to get rid of your parts. You are legit going to be here for around 20 or so minutes trying to get rid of them. Imagine having 100 parts after grinding out a ton of races. You would most likely be here long enough to probably run to the store and grab a drink, and most likely come back and you are still going to be deleting those said parts. Like, I do understand, once again, they obviously are getting rid of the exploits, but having that said animation every time you actually try to like leave the main stage or even like try to delete a part, or if you guys are even trying to re-roll your part as well, it is legit going to take so much longer than before. I do know when going after different part sets, you obviously could spam it before, and it was so much easier to get these said builds you're actually looking for. Like, for example, guys, you obviously do not pay extra money and even more spare parts in there, at least compared to like the Crew 2 before going up to like 16k. But now if you are looking to re-roll your parts and go after like a different fix-it stat build, it's going to be a lot harder than it should be. I mean, for example, guys, there's obviously going to be an animation with each part that you re-roll, similar to when you actually delete a part, at least now after the patch. But doing that though, you're going to be here a lot longer because you obviously have to go through that said animation, which before all you would have to do is recalibrate that said part and you would instantly go into the next one, and you could most likely spam that for, you know, how long that would actually take to get the said roll you're looking for, which by the way, you can spend a crazy amount of money even though it is cheaper. I've actually spent like around $500,000 to $700,000 on a said part set, which of course before and now you also have the lovely RNG that is indeed playing a role in this, and now you also have a very long animation when trying to recalibrate those said parts, so you are most likely going to be here way longer than you actually should be. I really do hope they actually like go back and maybe revert this. That way you most likely do not have to sit here and scrap your parts for 20 minutes. And then of course going after a different part set build, you obviously have to sit there for who knows how long when trying to get that said one you're actually looking for. As I did mention earlier, I do understand back before the update there was a lot of exploiting going on in different areas. For example, like going back on track in like grand races, or even like doing that when hitting a checkpoint. And then of course we also had like the rewind thing going back and forth on that, which by the way that was also changed to have a longer animation. But in ways I honestly understand why they did indeed do that to the rewind, but if they could change this back, guys, to at least have the parts and the re-rolling to not have that long animation. So hopefully in the near future they do end up reverting this back to how it was before, so that way you can actually delete parts and go after different affixed stats easier. Of course there is one more other way they could obviously fix this, and that is going to be like a copy the file type of thing like on a computer, to where you basically hit a said button and delete all the parts you actually want. Like you basically, let's say, click all of the blue and pink or slash purple parts you don't want, even like a gold part for that matter, but you obviously have to click on it. And then of course hitting another button after that to then delete all the other parts you obviously don't want. I would say that's probably going to be one of the most efficient ways they can do it. Basically almost like an upgraded system as it is in the loot mailbox right now. But of course you can then delete parts a lot easier that way. A system like that though would probably be the most effective way to get rid of parts faster. And then, of course, on the flip side, we definitely need the affixed stat rerolling to go back how it was before. That really has to be a must, like, really soon. I would like to know what you guys think about this in the comments below. If I had to guess, though, it's probably not going to be that positive because many people did not ask for this, including myself for that matter, so grinding out parts and going after different affixed stats is going to be a lot harder than it actually should be, and of course take a lot longer than it did before, in basically every way.